You started the beginning of your relationship with fuck you bitch and slamming the door, not sure how far to go. I mean, some of us are really into like that, masochist type thing, but I just don't think that a lot of us would be like, I don't know who that person is, but just they can take 7 feet to the left and never speak to me again. But when we are ending relationships, especially when we are leaving abusive situations or we're leaving toxic situations, we tend to take on those people traits, especially when we move to another space, right? It's like we take all of that energy, that, all of that hatred, all of that sadness, all of that disappointment, and we bring the whole baggage with us to our new space. And then we don't know how to detox ourselves from that situation. We don't know how to walk away mentally. Because what happens when you are in that grief and mourning space, because we do grieve and mourn even abusive situations. It's like when you look at science experiments they do, or on children who are raised by abused parents, those children don't want to leave their parents, they want to leave the pain, right? So they still see the good in that person. A lot of the time abuse victims feel like that. It's like, you are still a good person if only you would ... I could make you a better I'll do whatever you say. And it's not about you, it's about them, right? But we don't know that, because if you come from a space where abuse was accepted and then you move into a space where abuse is occurring, when you leave it, you somehow mourn and miss the atmosphere, but it's not because it's healthy, it's because it's all you know. So the end of relationships, again, can feel like the death of a person. And most of us don't like that feeling. We don't like the death of somebody that we care about. So that's why we happen to be in places, we stay in places that we don't belong. We move in ways that make us feel like maybe we can crack the code and become that person who fixes them, that fixes the situation, that makes it better. And a lot of that has to do with the sadness that we have. It has to do with the yearning that we have. It has to do with trying to fix the humiliation. Because if I can fix myself and make them want me back, then I'm not humiliated anymore. They're humiliated. And if I can get them back and then I can be the one to end it, then there's no more confusion, because you feel like you've won. You've now turned the scars on the other person. It's such a difficult thing to deal with, because many of us aren't taught how to grieve properly. We aren't even allowed to discuss that in the house. Most of us don't talk about death until something horrible happens, or until somebody's diagnosed with something. We don't talk about it because it brings on so many raw emotions that we are taught as a society not to have. You're only allowed to be kind of happy, kind of sad, kind of joyful, kind of peaceful. Any of those things in a full scale is seen as outrageous, insane. You need medication. Why are you so happy? I don't understand. I mean, you should be sad sometimes. Why are you so sad? You need to be happy.